This week, starting March 7th through March 13th, the sun moves into the 22nd I Ching, activating our beingness, and is grounded by the earth, the 47th I Ching, what we see, offering us an opportunity, a sacred mirror into a higher truth, an opportunity to meet a part of ourselves in a deeper way and respond imaginatively, to evolve, to rise higher. The 22nd and 47th I Ching polarity activates the shadow of dishonor and oppression, our karma, our junk DNA, the behavior and reaction patterns we incarnated with in our human vehicle, the body, offering us a transformation this week from dishonor to grace, the dilemma of self-ownership and accountability. Will you open what is closed, the light in the darkness? In the wisdom of human design, this time period is known as the quarter of initiation. It's a time period where the energetic theme is centered around inspiration. So asking powerful questions, introducing new ideas, provoking awareness, challenging old belief systems, sharing insights, and influencing collective thinking. So less about emotional bonding or material building, and more about mental awakening. So the shadows here can be forcing opinions, mental arrogance, talking without invitation. This is a time through Aries season, so the middle of April, of intuitively asking questions and sharing our inspirations, being a thought leader without attachments. This week's solar transit returns us to emotional energy, activating the energy of grace or disgrace, dishonor. You may notice a pressure to express how you feel or notice others expressing their feelings. The impact we have when we express how we feel is determined by timing. If our emotional state is in the lower part of our emotional wave, then the impact of our words will be colored with that frequency. And of course, the opposite is true. So what is dishonor, and what does it mean? What does it mean to dishonor? So we dishonor ourselves every time we don't accept the way we feel or behave. And dishonor goes even deeper. It's when we forget that the other is an aspect of ourselves, because then we dishonor ourselves when we dishonor other beings by our projections. And we also dishonor ourselves in a million other ways, even without anyone else. Now, when we pin dishonor with the beautiful word of graciousness, then the power of magic is possible, of transformation. And so graciousness is the remembering that emerges organically out of dishonoring. So in other words, there is a purpose for our dishonoring. Our dishonor has a higher purpose. It can teach us, it can offer us a new way of being that is closer to our truth, to the truth of who we truly are. Graciousness is way more than just a behavior. It's a worldview. It's the most organic worldview. Graciousness emerges when we're alone and still. It's in our aloneness, in our stillness, that we face our own actions and consequences, our guilt, our shame. They're the mirrors that bounce back from the lens of our aloneness. When we're honest with ourselves and look in the mirror, which is what a contemplative path shows us. It shows us the nature of our dishonor in all the big and small ways, and we start taking accountability and self-ownership over our feelings and behaviors. And at first, it can be really uncomfortable to look at all the different ways we have dishonored ourselves and others. But there is beauty in dishonor. Hidden in dishonor is grace, the miracle of grace, a chance to be vulnerable and to witness grace. In the game of life, in the mystery of being alive, dishonor is everywhere. It's needed as a context to witness the magic of grace, which then offers us an opportunity to change our behavior pattern towards something more honorable, something that feels more authentic, that feels good to the body, that aligns with our heart. So for me, for example, whenever I was out of alignment, whenever my embodiment wasn't aligned with my inner truth, I found that my body was actually whispering to me with this inner pinch in my gut each time I unconsciously reacted impulsively or spoken without being asked to share my perspective, or each time I projected blame and judgment onto others. So by seeing a deeper truth in loving awareness, seeing a pattern of behavior that is dishonoring, it then reveals a pattern of graciousness, which opens the door, brings us closer to the path of self-love, of inner truth, to the path of who we truly are, which feels so good in the body. So graciousness is the gradual realization that we are divine, that each of us are a God, the God in the room, and we're beyond good, the I am, the oneness of all things. So if I dishonor a person, even in my thoughts, I'm dishonoring myself. So each of us have a chance this week to contemplate dishonor, to really clean up our beautiful inner gardens that may be littered with dishonor. And this is private. No one ever needs to know. Now, the other side of dishonor is deeply feminine. We find the tenderness of the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, who allows all dishonor to take place and then forgives us as we learn to forgive ourselves, which then allows us to be forgiving of others, the wisdom in forgiveness. Our magical inner beauty is the magnet that attracts others. If you want to be loved, be love. Loving yourself makes you loving to others. Accepting yourself makes you accepting to others. Giving yourself grace allows you to give grace to others. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you and for you. We are the passage towards the divine, and our suffering is the river that leads us finally to the ocean of you, of the I am, the oneness of all things. Will you open what is closed, the light in the darkness? Remember, love yourself and choose to be blessed.